is the rights and the duties in the Indian Constitution. This is the second chapter of the book Constitution at Work. In this chapter, you will study about fundamental rights and active principles and the fundamental duties also. All of you have studied about the meaning of the government and the constitution, need of the constitution, and the process by which a government is governed by the constitution of any country. Today I am going to give an overview of this chapter, and I will tell you what and how many things you will study in this topic. In this topic, you will come to know that the constitution is not only the document which explains the composition of the organs of the government or the relationship among the different organs of the government, but it is more than that. Constitution is a document which sets limit on the government. All of you know that government is the highest authority or institution in any country, and constitution is a document which sets limits on the government. Now the question is, why the constitution is putting limits on the government? It is only for protecting the individual. Means constitution is putting the limits on the government only for protecting the individual. And how it is protecting the individual? Through the fundamental rights. Now you can see, children, that constitution is protecting individual, and for protecting individual, the constitution is also providing you fundamental rights. It means the constitution is protecting individual through the fundamental rights. Now one thing more, children, that there are 22 parts in the Indian Constitution, and in which the first part of the Constitution deals with the Union and its territories, and the second part deals with the citizenship, and the third part deals with the fundamental rights. Means part 3rd of the Indian Constitution is about fundamental rights. Now children, something more, that is how and what are the fundamental rights are there. You should know this. There are 6 fundamental rights. In the original constitution, there were 7 fundamental rights, and during the amendment, that is in the amendment of 44th in 1978, which was done to abolish the right to property, and now there are only 6 fundamental rights. And in the first, we can see that the right to equality, then second is right to freedom, the third is right against exploitation, and the fourth is right to religion, then right to cultural and then a cultural and educational right, and then right to constitutional remedies. All the fundamental rights have been mentioned from the Article 12 to 35 in the Constitution. As all of us know that each and every thing has been mentioned according to the under some article in the Constitution. So fundamental rights have been mentioned under the article of 12 to 35. And right to equality. We will study about the equal opportunity in job and social equality, political equality, and then economic equality under the right to equality. And then right to freedom. There are right to freedom is a very broad right, and many freedoms have been given to the citizen of the country. That is right to move, right to speech and expression, and right to adopt any occupation. All these rights we will study there. And then right against exploitation. It means we have right not to be exploited. And in this fundamental right, we will study about the forced labor, child labor, and the human trafficking. And then we will study about the cultural and education rights. Means we have right to protect our culture in our country. Then right to religion is also there. Means we are free to adopt any religion and follow any religion and practice the traditions of our religion. Then right to constitutional remedies. Means suppose a person is there and some of the right is going to be prohibited or hurt by any institution or any person, then how he can protect his own right. And for these things, so many writs have been given, and all these writs are can be filed in the High Court or Supreme Court, and then we will study all these things in this right. And except all these three rights, we will also study about the protection of rights. And then next is we will study what is the role of judiciary for protecting the rights of the individual. Role of judiciary. Then we will also study what are the directive principles of state policy which have been given in our Indian Constitution. Then children, what we have studied today? We have studied that the name of the topic, that is rights and duties in the Indian Constitution, and how many things we will study in this topic. We will study about the different rights which have been given in the Indian Constitution. Then we will also study that how it is protected and what are the measures which the government has given us for the protection of these rights. Then we will also study about the role of the judiciary and the directive principles of the state policy and the relationship of directive principles of the state policy and the fundamental rights. That's all for today, children. In the next class, I will teach you and I will tell you about the importance of the rights, because we are all talking about rights. Then why we all the time talk about the rights, what are the importance, and if the rights are not there in our life and we are not provided social and legal and constitutional right, that is fundamental rights, then what will happen and how we will be suffering in the society. All